Inc. Live Piracy. The following is designated Floyd, GDASD, recording number 1.
Is this thing recording? It has so many buttons, but only does one thing. Hello? Anybody there? Oh, the light's on. I think that means it's...
This concludes Floyd, GDASD, recording number 1.
Attention, all employees who survived initial contact with the rogue ship. We are now engaged in the incorporation of an actively hostile vessel. Please prepare for occasional lapses in breathable air, comfortable gravity, and regular turbulence. As per company policy, all employees, injured or otherwise, are required to remain at their stations until the end of this incorporation. Any overtime that happens as a result of this policy will remain unpaid. Productivity is happiness.
Bethany? Before you ask, is this a question you should already know the answer to? You're down to 4 of those per shift.
Bethany, what was that?
3 now. Given all the context clues you seem to be ignoring, that was probably the rogue ship.
What?
Yeah. You hear about those rogue ships sometimes. By the time we catch up to them, there is no telling what altercations the new crew could have set up.
Rogue ships?
You didn't read the memo.
Why are you so calm right now?
Because I read the memo, Jonas. I always read the memo. You should read the memos too. I bet they tried to ram us. I would never expect to be rammed, so that's what I'd do.
Are we at war?
No, we are not. The ship is, but we're not.
We're at war?
Do you see a uniform?
I mean, I see a work uniform.
Not what I meant.
Did we get conscripted? Am I going to have to kill to survive? Am I finally going to see what exists in the darkest depths of my soul?
Jonas, we both know in the darkest part of your soul, there's just a small child smiling and clapping and spinning their propeller hat. Right now, our ship is trying to incorporate a rogue ship before the rogue ship incorporates us. That's all.
Trying?
Trying.
They could incorporate us?
It's a universe of possibility, Jonas, and everybody loves to gamble.
I need to send a communication. Ah!
Don't bother! You're not allowed to leave your station until this is over. The underside of your desk is not your station, and your emotional support firm needs to be in its cubby as well.
Are they going to... Is someone going to be reading stories about us?
They wouldn't be very interesting stories because, once again, you are under your desk cuddling something green, brown, and tear-stained.
There are people doing our job on that ship right now, right?
No.
Ah, thank goodness. I don't want anyone to see me like this.
And yet I still have to coax you out of your cave? Anyone doing our job would have joined the mutiny or been killed by it. They would not still be doing this.
We're gonna die in a mutiny?
Only if we play our cards right. If we lose this, and by we, I mean the other people who are doing the fighting, then we'll just be incorporated by the rogue ship. And in that case, we're not allowed to say the word die when talking about incorporations. Bureaucratically, there is no cause for alarm.
How are you filling out forms right now?
Someone the company has repeatedly assured me is a doctor of my prescription. I never asked if they were a doctor, but I'm still getting communication assuring me so. Oh, look! Another one. Thanks, company.
Do you have any extra?
Pills or forms? No pills. Enough forms to last 4 sieges or more. We're told incorporation is painless. Stop breathing like that.
I look at the charts too, Bethany!
Yes, but we're told that it's painless. Don't scream when it happens, or we'll both get a demerit for whatever senior employee gets incorporated last.
If you think I'm going to start following policy right before I die... Who are these dashing rogues anyway?
The memo said they were a bunch of ordinary workers who got infected, got violent, and then got the upper hand over an underperforming management team. Now they're going around incorporating planets for their raw materials.
That's what we're doing.
But they're not supposed to. You need to read these memos, Jonas. When we do it, it's work. When they do it, it's downright dirty theft. It's all in the memo.
I'm sorry. I've just never been in the heat of battle, Bethany. Some of us weren't built for wartime.
You're not in the heat of battle. You're at work.
There are explosions happening in every direction.
It's an office job, Jonas. Calm down. Read the memo next time and you'll be prepared.
What could the memo say that could possibly prepare me for this?
It says,
Hello, valued employees. We expect to catch up to the next action item in our all-company corporate level project tomorrow during your shift. This action item is a rogue ship taken over by infected pirates who hate you, your family, and the way of life you hold dear. These infected pirates want you to die. They have overtaken a company ship and have been incorporating planets without the permission of corporate. They will incorporate your family next if we do not stop them. Do not let their attempt to incorporate you without the company's permission distract you from our attempt to incorporate them. Do your part, and do not let this slow down productivity during your shift. If you would like to donate a portion of your salary to the ongoing effort to eradicate all forms of piracy and this specific infection, please sign below. Happiness is productivity. Your management team.
You have that memorized?
of course.
Why?
Because I read it, Jonas. And you should have read it too. This way, we could have skipped everything leading up to this moment. Are you gonna sign?
No! What? No!
How unpatriotic!
You signed?
Of course not. Get back to work, Jonas.
I haven't even started working today.
I know.
Is there a test to see if you're infected like the mutineers or pirates or whatever?
Yes, a professional comes and asks you about your symptoms.
Is anyone checking this ship for infections?
I hope not.
You hope not?
Jonas, what infection do you think they're talking about?
A serious one? A violent one? Something to do with piracy? It sounds bad.
It sounds bad, all right. Follow-up question. Have we, anywhere in the universe, ever once come across a single real pirate? Not a made-up story, not a work of fiction, a single, real, actual pirate.
No.
No.
Okay.
Pirates aren't real.
Pirates aren't real?
And if pirates aren't real...
Pirates aren't real?
Jonas, the infection is made up. The pirates are made up. If someone is here to check for signs of infection, it means they're doing paperwork to justify whatever they're planning to do to the infected ship. Someone, somewhere, has already decided if you're infected or not, and if you see someone testing for it, you are too late. This isn't an infection. The last one wasn't an infection, and there are no pirates. It's a boilerplate memo. They send out the same one every time we incorporate a rogue ship.
How often is that?
Okay, so we've only done this one other time since I started, but it's the same message. This is a rogue ship. They're just trying to survive by incorporating us first. It is not full of sick pirates. It's just full of people who made a different choice than us. They're probably running on a skeleton crew. There's a good chance that anyone who actually knows how to run the incorporator is long gone. They'll throw a tantrum, then we get to collect and sort their data just like every other thing we incorporate. Now, you can have your feelings about it, you can hug your wet, leafy thing, or you can fill out these forms and get it over with. Whatever you're going to do it quietly, please. When did we get lasers? I swear, no one tells me anything.
Pirates aren't real?
Nowhere in the universe. They just don't happen outside of stories.
Huh.
Do some forms, Jonas. It won't make you feel better, but it will make you feel less.
To all our surviving employees for sticking with us through hour 14 of our incorporation efforts against the rogue ship. We understand that canceling several of your lunch breaks may seem like an act of malice by upper management, but this decision actually has your best interest at heart. Productivity is happiness.
There has to be something else. A form to fill out. Something that slipped through the cracks. Anything.
Do all the incorporations take this long?
No. What? Have you been paying attention?
Not really.
Most ships that have incorporation capabilities have fail-safes in place to resist unintentional incorporation. That's why it's taking so long. Usually, it'd be done in a couple of minutes.
Bethany, I can't believe I'm saying this, but how dare you do all the work and leave nothing for me?
Jonas, you did all the work. You got bored and zipped through all the work. We had enough work to ration for weeks, and you just did it because you were bored.
I did?
If you did this at any other time, I would give you a gold star. Unfortunately, you did it today, and we should both hate you for that. I will find something.
I'm opening the EBI folder.
You opened it 5 hours ago.
I'm opening it again.
It's still open. You never closed it. You opened it, flipped through a few pages, got bored, did all the work we had, and now we're here.
I am revisiting the EBI folder.
Please just pick any one story and read it all the way through.
Fine. This one.
I had never felt a hunger like this since...
Boring, 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 boring.
No, you picked it. You go back and read it.
Why is this one even here?
Read it, or I will eat you and not kill you. You will just have to watch me eat you until you are living without a body, because I ate your entire body, but I did not kill you. Do you understand?
No.
Read this story, Jonas.
I had never felt a hunger like this since I was a young child. My family, poor as they were, had to hunt for whatever we ate. After the great wasting, there was very little to hunt. The few things we could grow had odd smiles about them, and they would laugh when you looked away. I was too young to join the hunting, but the idiot who raised me told me stories of their many failures. They died on a hunt. We ate well that night.
Cannibalism. Just like you were going to do to me if I didn't finish the story.
It gets more interesting, I swear.
Bethany, I am not waiting for a story to get interesting. It should just be interesting.
They ate their caregiver. It is interesting.
Yeah, to sickos. I'm reading something else.
But please, for my sake, just read a story all the way through before going on to the next one.
Maybe.
The crystal jittered to the odd music, hungry and lonely,
Bummers can be very interesting, meaningful stories.
Glad to know the last 14 hours of my life have been a very interesting and meaningful story. Bethany, stop trying to find a blank form and find a happy story for me to read out loud to myself while you pretend not to listen.
Okay, if you'll read it all the way through.
Never mind, I found one.
I am the lightning I do. The long shadow shine the mountain. I am the blood within the blood. I have 101 names, and the crown upon each. I am alone, and I am above. I am the lightning tooth, and I know the static in the sound of the wind.
Oh, well, you have to give it to me. I did read that whole one. It may only be 4 sentences, but I read all of them out loud. Are you happy now?
Just find the story from the last rogue ship.
We have that story? Where?
You're organizing the folder, Jonas.
Just checking in with all the survivors on the ship as we approach hour 168. No sleeping is allowed while at your workstations. Wake up. Here is a sound to help you wake up.
Wake up, please. I miss you.
There. Now you are awake. Please stay that way unless you have expired during our incorporation of the rogue ship. If you have not already signed your form consenting to give a portion of your salary to the effort, consider this. Almost 1% of your donation will go to the families of those sucked into the void of space. Productivity is happiness.
The following is designated Floyd, GDASD, recording number 78.
Tomorrow is the day. I hear everybody talking about it. I think I'm excited. You know, I've been preparing for this for a long time. I've been getting my supplies together, making sure all the intel I've been gathering has been, accurate. We're only going to get one shot at this, and I just want to get it right. An opportunity like this, you do not want to waste it. I'll keep you all updated.
This concludes Floyd, GDASD, recording number 78.
This is the story?
Yep.
That qualifies as a mutiny?
That is probably the biggest single piece of contraband on the whole ship. And yes, that qualifies as a mutiny.
You wrote this one yourself.
I am not a creative person, Jonas.
You read the memo, you knew I wasn't going to read the memo, you got here early and slipped in a little prank before the shift started.
I did not.
Yes, you did!
Have I ever committed a prank, Jonas?
You have done one prank. This prank. That is the only prank you have done or will ever do.
Go find the Incorporated Rogues and ask them. They're technically on the ship somewhere.
I don't know if I can actually do that or not.
You can reconstitute their bodies, but they will not be inside them. I'm not allowed to say the D word about it, but they will not be inside their reconstituted bodies. The point is, everyone on that ship, or almost everyone, got together and decided to have a vacation day.
What is that? It sounds made up. It sounds like you made it up.
I think it's just a day where you don't go to work.
So like a child?
You also don't go to school.
Okay.
lot of gears turning in your head, and I can hear them from here.
I am totally and completely lost.
Have you ever had a day where you didn't work, and you also didn't have to request leave to go do something that wasn't work, but was important enough to be like work?
Yes, but you told me if I keep doing that, you would do something about vengeance to me.
But you also didn't have to be at work. You were given express and explicit permission to just not work. And you didn't have to ask for it.
I've been fired before.
Also, you get to keep your job.
There are a lot of stipulations to what a vacation is.
So, have you had one?
I have not had a vacation, no.
Me neither. But all these people on that first rogue ship decided it sounded pretty alright. So they got together and had one.
I do not remember reading about a battle or a lot of people dying.
They just had a vacation day.
The survivors did.
They just all had a vacation day.
But what did they do? How did they get a vacation day?
They didn't do anything.
They just had one?
Yeah.
And they didn't do anything to earn it?
Not anything special.
Okay, what did they do with it?
Little things. Some of them tried drawing pictures. Most of them slept in.
Slept in the blood of management?
Just slept in longer than they normally would.
What did management do if they weren't dead?
There was no one to manage, so not much.
Doesn't it all sound pretty boring to you?
I guess.
I mean, nothing to do. We're here, and there's already nothing to do.
It's different, though. We have to do nothing. They got to do nothing.
It's nothing either way.
Sure, Jonas.
No, you're disagreeing with me, so I stopped talking.
A while back, I requested some time off, and I got turned down. Then I pushed it, and I got turned down and laughed at. There were demerits, but I've worked most of those off. I just think it would be nice to have a day where there was one less thing to worry about.
But what would you do?
I don't know.
Exactly. Would you even leave your room?
No.
Exactly.
No, and that's the point. Plenty of people in the story did not leave their rooms, and some of them even enjoyed it.
I wouldn't just stay in my room.
You should try staying in your room sometimes, Jonas. I think we'd all enjoy it.
And deprive the vacationers of more me? Never. What's camping?
I don't know.
It says at least one person went camping. What's that?
They just set up a sheet next to a window and, quote, fell asleep under the stars.
It's all stars, though. We keep some compressed stars in the ship. All that's going to do is get someone stepped on.
They worked in our position. They heard about camping from one of the worlds they incorporated. Everyone left them alone. The next day, everything went back to normal. Everyone went back to work. Productivity was way up. Some people were happy. Later that week, we incorporated all of them. One of the managers on the rogue ship asked corporate for protocols. Our ship was the first and only response. Don't tell anyone about this story, Jonas. I don't feel like being broken down into my most basic elements and kept in storage. Do you?
Did that other person, that camper, did they have an EBI folder?
They did not.
I don't want to tell anyone about your boring vacation days anyway.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience with our latest incorporation. The rogue ship and all of its infected pirates have been placed in storage. We understand that due to the prolonged nature of this incorporation, you were asked to stay at your stations for an unusual amount of time. Upper management has decided to thank you for your hard work by making it so your next shift begins now. This way, you will not have to make the trip back to your quarters before the shift that would begin shortly anyways. This will also prevent the highest possible number of employees from being sucked into the void of space while we repair several gaping holes in the fuselage. Remember, if you do not have a door, your risk of being sucked into the void of space is never zero. Happiness is productivity.
If you have any pushpins you can spare, please send them my way. Another whole shift and nothing to do.
Not nothing. We have a whole rogue ship's data to sift through.
Thank goodness.
I've never seen you happy for more work.
I just hope you're wrong about pirates.
No pirates. What did I tell you, Jonas?
Floyd was the sole member of the General Data Acquisition and Storage Department of a now incorporated rogue starship. Floyd's atomic identity is currently held in storage on another starship of the same company. The following is a signed designation, Floyd, GDASD, recording, final.
I'm a lonely person, I think. I don't talk to people. I work in a windowless, doorless office with an AI who I hate. And that AI is my best friend. But now, right now, I'm looking at all these stars and thinking that, hey, maybe I'm not so alone out here. Tomorrow, I'll go back to work after a little vacation day, but I think I'll come back here sometimes. Just to say hi to the stars, remember that I'm not so alone out here. This is going to be my last recording for the night. I don't want to waste it.
The original data of Floyd's recording resides in the same on-ship storage as Floyd's atomic identity. This copy of the recording was collected automatically as part of the Robo-Archivist borderless collections protocol. No recipient for the recording was ever intended. As of yet, this recording has been accessed as part of the Robo-Archivist system 0 times. No other recording of Floyd exists, aside from payment and tax information. This concludes the Floyd GDASD recordings and all relevant data of Floyd of the General Data Acquisition and Storage Department.
Inc. is written, produced, and edited by Monte D, Monteleagre and Alexander Wolfe.
Hi, my name is Allyson Levine, and I voice the character of Bethany. Hello, my name is Raimy Washington, and I voice the character of Jonas.
Hi, I'm Guthrie Knueven, and this episode I played the character of Story 1.
Hello, I'm Katie Ploetz, and this episode I played
Memo. Story number 2.
Hi, my name is Joe Hanson, and in this episode I voiced
Story number 3.
My name is Jacob Pfeiffer, and in this episode, I played Floyd.
Hello, my name's Ellis MacMillan, and I voice the Robo-Archivist.
And I'm Leah Cardenas. I read the ship announcement as well as the credits. Find us online at inkthepodcast.buzzsprout.com for links to all our social media, or connect with us directly at inkthepodcast. That's at INC the podcast. All lowercase, all one word, all the time. As a fledgling show attempting to lift off, we're not above asking you for a little help in spreading the word. Ratings and reviews on whatever platform you consume content on helps feed the algorithmic beasts that control all our lives from behind the shadows. And if you're far too unplugged from the system for that, word of mouth has always been a wonderfully organic way to build a community. And we'd be delighted to be the latest podcast you tell people to listen to, knowing full well that most of them never will. One must imagine Sisyphus happy after all. Inc. is a production of Wolf Mountain Workshop. Happiness is productivity.